Yo, yo, it's the power hour where the bruises eat. No finesse, no flukes, just backs that punish. Fantasy gold in the mud, let's eat. Yo, welcome to the power hour.
Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Football Power Hour. With me, as always, Muscles, Ryan Mail. How are you on this fine, cold night in Western Pennsylvania?
Yeah, it's kind of wild waking up these past couple of days of snow. Definitely not ready for that yet. Did you guys get much snow down?
We did not get a ton of snow. We got like a little bit of dusting. It's actually all gone. So my parents, you guys live much closer. They said they got a couple inches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the ground is covered. So I know you guys, it's like a 20-minute we live from each other, but it's like a different ecosystem.
I know, it's so wild how it kind of works. Like,
Yeah.
I can start to drive towards your guys' house, and then I know exactly where it's gonna get bad. It's like the same spot every time. So
Yep.
kind of wild. I like it down here in the South.
Yeah, I guess technically you are South, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for tonight's show, I really want to discuss some of these injuries, but I really want to drop into like some Joe Burrow's practice windows now open. Just we're gonna kind of talk about that and break all that down. Brian Daboll, as you can see in the title, out of New York, kind of surprising, but should it have happened? We'll cover that. We'll talk about that. What's wrong with the Buffalo Bills? I mean, they lose to Miami. They lost to Atlanta. Are they still the powerhouse of the AFC East? It's not really looking like it. So we're definitely going to go over that and talk about who we have our eye on. Maybe a player that we really like coming in here to week 11, we think can kind of gain some steam and some value. So if you haven't, go over and subscribe to YouTube. Leave us a comment if you enjoy the show. If you're listening on a podcast, please give us a follow, give us a 5-star and a rating review, leave a comment. We really, really appreciate it. All totally free, and it does something nice for us.
Yeah, exactly. Like to see that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And trust me, we definitely see it. So before we get into anything else as well, first off, happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. We really appreciate your service. I know I don't just say that alone, Muscles. I know we know a lot of people that have, been in the military, family, friends, and some that are still serving. So we just really want to say thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
And a little bit of a tragedy here. Our prayers are with Marshawn Nealon's family. Guys, if you're struggling with depression, please go seek help. My inbox is always open. Muscles is always open. I know Dynasty Dog Mike at the end of his shows, they always close them out just about depression and stuff. Their inboxes are open. So don't be afraid to reach out. I mean, I know we're all dudes here. Maybe not everybody's a dudes here. There's also women that struggle with depression. So please, guys, seek help if you do need it. And our prayers are to his family. So let's hit the injury report here, Moss. Jackson Dart.
Speaking of Dynasty Dog Mike, I saw he went to Lambeau last night.
He did. Yes, he did send us a text message. And that's definitely a bucket list for me. And we'll have to ask him if it was haunted like it said on our Halloween show.
Saw any ghosts, but yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That just popped in my head. I was like,
I actually forgot he did send that message last night. That's one stadium I'd really love to go check out.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, obviously, probably kind of a cold one last night. I'd like to visit it. I'm kind of a big baby when it comes to being cold, but I'd like to visit it earlier in the year when it's not so snowy. If you could luck out, and then unfortunately for him, he saw kind of a snooze fest of a game, I think.
Yeah, just the experience. I'm like you. I'm not a big cold person, but at the same time, I'd love to go when it's snowing, like a playoff game or something, and just kind of witness that. I think Green Bay has a very their crowd can get intense, so I think that would be fun to be a part of. That's kind of the difference with NFL football. Like whenever you do see these 9:30 games when they're overseas, people are singing "Sweet Caroline." That would be that'd be awesome. We have the stupid fucking wave. Nobody wants to do the wave. We wanna sing "Sweet Caroline." We want to sing and cause problems. So I think it'd be cool to go do something like that.
Yeah, just for that, I kind of like always wanted to go see a Bills game just because, see
Tables.
people see people get put through tables and they are intense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's touch on injury report real quick. Jackson Dart probably going to be out this week with the concussion, which is the reason I'm bringing this up. Kind of strange. It seems like he's in concussion protocol literally every week, does it not?
Yeah, yeah, it does. Seems like he's always popping up on the injury report, but he seems like he's okay.
Yeah,
Just as long as Scattaboo and Daboll don't get fined, which I guess they won't now. So
yeah. I just yeah, and we're gonna touch on the whole Dable thing here. Just I don't know, man. It seems odd that he's in there that many times, and it seems like all the time it's not a concussion, and this time finally is probably gonna be out. Concussion protocols is kind of weird. Not saying that I don't agree with it, just it I how accurate is it, I guess is my opinion. Like I'm trying to think outside of the box here. How accurate is it to tell if you have a concussion or not? Because it seems like certain people will get pulled in and never do. Can they pass it even though they have it? Like, I don't know. I'm not an expert.
well, I know even in other sports they say that like a lot of athletes will like dumb down their original answers, because I guess like so they give you a test basically, and then like an actual I don't know if it's written, if it's oral, like it's
Oop, you're freezing up a little bit, Muss. We might have lost muscles here, but talking about the concussion protocol, I'm curious to know, honestly, like if that's a thing or kind of what the deal is with that. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about J.K. Dobbins. So kind of wait for him to see if he can get back on stage here. But with J.K. Dobbins, it he has a foot injury, so going to get a second opinion. We did talk about this. We said if you draft J.K. Dobbins, you gotta have that depth at running back, and unfortunately, running backs always seem to kind of go down at some point throughout the season. We've already lost guys like Bucky Irving, Trey Benson, James Conner. I mean that backfield's obliterated, but I think Tyler Beatty is going to be somebody that's in the mix. It's just Beatty's a Sean Payton guy, right? Like Sean Payton loves to run the Jaleel McLaughlins. He kind of like Sean Payton's kind of that guy that likes to try to prove people wrong. So it's just kind of strange. So I wouldn't be surprised if Beatty's a little bit of a thing with RJ Harvey. Still, it's got to be a boost for RJ Harvey, right? Like we're finally kind of see him starting to take off. It was definitely an ugly game against the Raiders, but just let's see. Hopefully, this is nothing too bad. I've seen reports that he could go on IR, so if that happens, definitely not a good thing for J.K. Dobbins. So next guy, let's talk about Dalton Kincaid. He is week to week with a hamstring injury. I have more to say about Buffalo later in the show. I mean, just really struggling, and Dalton Kincaid's been when he's healthy, he's been one of the best receivers on this team. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The guy can ball, but nobody else is really stepping up besides Shakir. Shakir's been solid once again, but Keon Coleman's been very disappointing once again. I know Josh Palmer's been banged up. Kind of see what transpires out of that. I think we just know what Josh Palmer necessarily is. So let's kind of go from there. Garrett Wilson, week to week with a knee. Once again, I don't know if it was the same knee, but just unfortunate. I mean, Justin Fields has been really bad. There's nothing else you can really say. He and and like he didn't have many passing yards. Whatever he did have, I want to say it was under 100 once again, 54 maybe. Let me check on that because I am kind of curious. I think he had 54. Yeah, 54 pass yards. Now, come on, like you got to give something better than that. He's not even really running around a ton. Do we see Tyrod Taylor? I think there's a possibility. I think there's a possibility they kind of go back. It would have been Tyrod Taylor before, but he was hurt, so they had to go with Justin Fields, and obviously won them that game. And the Jets pulled this one out against the Browns. Really kind of surprised about that as well. Just not really interested here in anybody in the waiver wire. I'm really not interested in anybody necessarily on this offense unless your name's Brees Hall, and a little bit of interest in Mason Taylor. And if there's no Garrett Wilson, just we'll see. AD Mitchell did not play. You got to remember he was a part of that Sauce Gardner trade. So we'll kind of see what happens with AD Mitchell going forward. But this is kind of a shorter week. Yeah, they play on Thursday. So we will see, if he does play and how much he does. Bucky and Chris Godwin out once again. We're seeing this a lot everywhere. Where like San Francisco, what's going on with Brock Purdy? Not putting him on IR. Just every week he's out. He's out. They're kind of waiting till Friday to give out these reports, or Saturday, and saying that, okay, Mac Jones is going to start. Kind of weird. I said last episode that Mac Jones is somebody that I'm buying a ton of right now. Like I just have to, with the simple fact of just feel like there's a good chance that he is a guy going forward. We do have Muscles back here. So you there, Mus?
Yeah, I have no idea what happened. I completely lost internet.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. I was trying to hit something. I smacked my microphone.
Well, then Jamie she's like, our Netflix isn't working. I was like, yeah, our internet for some reason just shut out. So I unplugged the router and plugged it back in. And I don't know. Now we're working.
Weird stuff's been happening at my house too. Like we have Kinetic's been coming in. I actually just got a call from them about wanting to sign up. Like ever since they've been calling, my internet has been bad. So maybe I'm a little bit of conspiracy theorist, but yeah, it pisses me off too.
Yeah.
But I was just going over some of the injury report here. Just talking about Bucky and Godwin being out again. Something that I was kind of saying before. I feel like San Fran's been doing this. We've talked about this muscles with Brock Purdy. I mean, they're not putting him on IR. They just wait till like Friday, Saturday to say, okay, Mac Jones is starting. And how I went out and bought a bunch of Mac Jones shares because I don't know. Like it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. We're seeing even Washington do this with Jaden Daniels. He's not on IR yet. Like he's going to get a second opinion.
No.
Like that's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy if you put him back on the field this year.
I agree. Even Burrow, I think even if you put Burrow back out there, I think that's crazy. But Mac Jones, He had a pretty good week there last week, didn't he? 300 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think you're right. He had a solid game. It was kind of a blowout though against the Rams. Because I know he threw one to Kittle real late.
Yeah, he was quarterback 6, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns. So I mean, he's been getting it done. I mean,
yeah.
Like you said, I mean, is he low key going to be like the starter going forward? I don't know, but it's definitely alarming.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So just something to kind of keep an eye on. I'm glad you brought up Joe Burrow because that's the first player that I really want to kind of like talk about right now. So, he's expected to come back sooner than we expected. Could play Thanksgiving night. So they are 3-6. Their upcoming games are Pittsburgh, New England, and Baltimore will be on Thanksgiving night. Is it worth bringing Joe Burrow back? I think you just kind of answered that by saying no. I don't think it is. Like, in my opinion, how much better is he going to play than Joe Flacco? Like, Joe Flacco has played great. 4 starts. He has 1,254 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, including a career high 470 yards week 9 against the Bears. It's just this defense is absolutely horrible. Maybe Joe Burrow kind of brings the hope to Jamar Chase and everybody, and I just don't know. You could tell the way Chase Brown was acting, and I'm not saying I blame him. Jamar Chase, just after losing that game to the Bears.
Yeah, I think they want him back just for morale, maybe. I mean, just to finish off the year, winning a few games, maybe go into the off season with your heads held high. But I'm right there with you. Like if you go out there and you get them even more hurt, what's the point?
I know, and I think they know the Steelers are in trouble. The Steelers are in big
Oh
trouble right now.
yeah,
Like they all you just they are like the Texans. They're like the Falcons. You just don't know what you're gonna get. Like they come out, they they stomped the Colts. I mean, there's just no way around it. They stomped the Colts. They looked really, really good. Even a lot of guys at work really, really excited to their Steelers fans. Then what's your opinion with the Chargers? I said I don't. I think it'll be a close game. Wasn't even close. Wasn't even
mm,
close. I mean, they just could not do anything. The Chargers don't have a great defense. I mean, and
no,
they're
that was
super
probably
banged up as well. Their lines held together by bubble gum. So I just not good.
the worst probably game of Aaron Rodgers' career, honestly.
Yeah, that was really, really hard to watch. Just yeah, I think if Cincinnati, they gave that game to the Bears, definitely shouldn't have lost that one. Then they lost to the winless Jets. We got to remember that. And Trey Henderson's been banged up all year. They trade away Logan Wilson. This defense is possibly one of the worst defenses that I've maybe seen definitely in Cincinnati, maybe in football. Like this defense is just week after week, just get destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we saw Pittsburgh go toe to toe with it, which is crazy because, like you said,
Yeah.
we couldn't do anything against the Chargers. The
Yeah,
Colts, they look okay, but
right. Right.
uh,
It's really bad in Cincinnati. And then, as many hits as Joe Burrow takes, you definitely got to be careful. Fantasy wise with Joe Burrow, if he is playing against the Ravens on Thanksgiving night, how much do you trust him? Or are you gonna wait till we get a little bit closer to see reports to say, hey, he's now practicing in full, which he's gonna have to practice in full before he plays, but he looks good, feels good. Do you trust it?
yeah, I mean, it's one of those. I'm right there with you. Like, I want to answer that closer to game, to the day of the game, just to see reports and stuff. But I mean, if he's good to go, I'm firing him up against that Ravens defense because that
I
Ravens defense is just god awful too. So that might be a gunslinging showdown there.
And I think the NFL really wants this. I think this is exactly what they wanted for Thanksgiving night, like to
Yeah,
have Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson and two bad defenses. I think a lot of people would really tune into that game. It always kind of seems like for me personally, I try to watch every one, but I always like to watch the Lions at the 1 o'clock, and then that middle game's always usually Dallas and whatever. And then that night game is like I'd really like to
yeah,
go back and get a turkey sandwich once again and watch that game. It's just
yep.
relax.
It's gonna be an all gas, no brakes kind of game. Should
Yes.
be, should be.
Yeah, definitely should be because these last couple primetime games, Thursday night Raiders and Broncos game, ugh, that was horrible. We'll just give it a little
Yeah,
bad, real bad. Same with the Eagles. That Eagles Green Bay game, just
same with the Steelers. They were all bad this week.
yes.
We've had a lot of bad primetime games this week.
I think DraftKings and all the other services out there probably got a lot of money this week
Oh
because
yeah.
a lot of unders hit. That's for damn sure. I think that's just pretty much it with Joe Burrow. Let's just kind of see. Just remember, it's a bad defense. I'm like you almost have to fire him up though. But
Oh yeah.
Brian Daboll fired after the Chicago game, so they they had this game in hand. Dart goes out, Russ comes in. They had a 17-7 lead in the third quarter. They have a 2-8 record. And we got to remember they did blow a lead in Denver. That was one of the ones where
There was 4.
what's
I
that?
There was 4 blown games that I saw they were leading by what was it, 10 plus points or something like that.
Yep, they have blown a ton. That Denver game, I think, was like okay, you're on super thin ice, pal, and Then they had this game, and then we also have to remember we were watching when they played Dallas and went toe to toe
Yeah.
with them in overtime. But I I I want to say this. I think Daboll's a good coach. I'm not saying they should have fired him because I have mixed feelings about it because you cannot let your team continue to lose like that in these comeback situations. But I do think he's good because culture wise, look what them guys did. Jackson Dart, Cam Scottaboo. I mean, you lost Malik Neighbors early too. So I just don't know what to say here, basically. I understand why they fired him, but who you
Yeah.
gonna bring in better?
And not only that, man, but it's like, how do you okay, when you have a lead, like we've played enough, man. When you have a lead, how do you seal a win?
Run the ball.
Run the ball. I mean, unfortunately, that line's terrible. I mean, we
Yeah.
know that. I mean, Scattaboo was good, but come on, man. Like, you give this guy Tyrone Tracy and a terrible line. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, what do you expect? I
Tyrone Tracy.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just or Devin. I don't even know if Devin.
I don't
Singleton.
even know who it is. It's kind of a split, and they're both bad. They're both bad.
Bad. It's I mean, I'm not it's not a scapegoat, but I'm kinda with you where I don't think it's all his fault. Like
I
if
don't
Scatteroo was there and Scatteroo could run for first downs, then maybe they don't lose some games.
Right.
Unfortunately, when you have a lead and you gotta throw the ball because you
Yep.
can't run it, nobody's scared of Tyrone Tracy. Like I'm sorry.
Oh, and then they don't have. I mean, who do they really have stretching the field? I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson's probably next to Malik Neighbors, and that's a humongous gap. And then I
Yeah.
mean, Slayton's just kind of blah, and then Slayton missed time. He was looking good, had the good matchup against Tyreek Stevenson, but even he was banged up. Then you're running out like Ray McLeod, who Atlanta released him. Like if Atlanta released you in that receiving core, you're not that good.
Yeah.
It so I was really surprised that Joe Shane kept his job. They did not let him go. So Daboll's definitely going to go somewhere else. Is he going to be a head coach right away? I don't know. I think he'll at least get a coordinator job. We'll kind of see, but let's talk about some names here because Mike Kafka does step in. Kafka has spent time in Kansas City in the quarterback room, so quarterback coach quality. I mean, he's with the quarterbacks. We're not going to say all these different titles, but that does intrigue me because is Daboll the one? Obviously spent time with Josh Allen. Was he the one to develop Josh Allen? Maybe. Kafka, what did he have to do with Patrick Mahomes? What did he have to do with Jackson Dart? So it is intriguing with Kafka to kind of see what he does. What does he bring? And I don't think he's going to bring anything else that Daboll didn't right now. But if they do turn to him next year Malik Neighbors probably isn't going to be healthy to start the season, but with this offense, hopefully Cam Scattaboo is.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what kind of moves they make in the offseason. I don't know their cap situation. I mean, it should be good. Rookie quarterback,
Yeah.
they should have money. I
Yeah,
can't
they
think,
definitely should have some money, and they
can't
didn't
think
bring
of anybody.
Barkley.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody they're really invested in.
I think the only one would be Brian Burns on defense.
Yeah.
They got good pass rushers. They just can't stop. They have trouble stopping the run. That's their weak spot.
Yeah. So we'll see what the offseason brings for Dart and like you said, Kafka. I don't know if they still roll out Kafka, but they definitely need a solid number two. I mean, Wandell's okay.
Right.
But
We'll see who comes out in the draft and kind of who emerges as well, in the NFL draft. And maybe that's where they go back. I mean, we've seen really good teams do this. I mean, T. Higgins, which I mean, when you have somebody like Jamar Chase on the board, you definitely take him. But that's kind of a controversial pick because I believe that was when Penei Sewell, they could have taken him instead of Jamar Chase to really kind of help bolster that line for Joe Burrow. So,
yep.
some names that could also be brought in. I kind of want to go over a couple here, but Lane Kiffin, who's the old Miss coach, uh, with Jackson Dart in college. That's been a popular name that I've seen on Twitter that could get that head coaching job. Obviously, we talked about Mike Kafka, Brian Flores muscles. I just, you know how we feel about defensive minded head coaches. Like,
Yeah.
I like Brian Flores. Does he deserve a head coaching job? I'm sure, absolutely. He's done a tremendous job in Minnesota. Does a tremendous job everywhere he is, in my opinion. Big Brian Flores guy, but I don't like defensive minded head coaches because if you roll out Mike Kafka, he is a beast. In fact, as an offensive coordinator, he'll go somewhere else to be a head coach right away.
Yeah, I agree. As far as defensive minded guys, he's definitely up there as far as, guys that definitely deserve it. But I'm right there with you. I like offensive minded head coaches.
Cliff Kingsbury was on this list. I don't think that would be good. I think we know what Cliff Kingsbury is. It just seems like the NFL likes him a ton, and I am not a Cliff Kingsbury guy personally.
No.
Another name was on this list, Mike McCarthy, who I just again not a fan of. So I think you got to go young, new, some less experienced guys that maybe can hit. That's how you find really good coaches in the league, in my opinion.
Yep.
So I think just whoever they hire is going to depend a lot on Dart's fantasy value, in my opinion. I mean, they do hire a Brian Flores. I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but I just don't know if we're going to see the peak potential because Dart has looked better. This was a really, really bad Chicago defense. Definitely know that. But like, Dart runs a ton too. And we got to kind of see. And I'm giving him a pass. He's a rookie. He's been excellent. I'm not saying he's super bad, but like next year when they're keying on the run, we have to see a little more out of Dart throwing the ball, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I This is what doesn't make sense. I think I would have just stuck with Daboll. I mean, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Obviously, there might be more than we see, obviously, but I would have just liked to see him next year with Daboll or with Dart, Scattaboo,
I
a
know.
little bit of a healthy Malik Neighbors and see what happens.
Yeah, I
This is kind of unfortunate, honestly. Like if you're a Dart
it is.
owner, I'm kind of, a little bit worried, like Andy said.
Yeah, it definitely is unfortunate. It really is. And then, a little bit of a controversial thing with him as well. Should he have started Dart to begin the season? Because Russ is bad. Like Russ is really bad. He's bad in Pittsburgh. I'm not just saying because we're not fans of Russell Wilson. Like he just is not. He's past his time.
Yeah, he's not good.
No, not at all. I'd rather see them bring Jameis Winston on the field. I
I
feel
don't
like
know why they don't. I mean, we
don't
said
either.
at the beginning of the year we were all excited for the Malik Neighbors Jameis Winston show, but like obviously we're not going to get that now, and that's a shame. But that was what I was looking forward to.
I definitely was too. A lot of the fantasy community were like, oh yeah, which and then even the trade up for Jackson Dart, I think that it's just funny how fast things change. You know what I mean? Like then they trade up for Dart, and a lot of people were like, "Whoa, they kind of paid a lot for Dart." And I thought Dart was Daboll's pass because he could say, "Oh," and then after Cam Scattaboo took off, I'm like, okay, now he can say, "Hey guys, I drafted a pretty good team here." And I guess it wasn't enough. And he won coach of the year. He won coach of the year like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So took them to a playoff, which was crazy for him to take that team to the playoffs with Daniel Jones. A really, really bad team all around, defense, everything.
Yeah,
So
I'd like to see him get another shot.
yeah, I definitely think he will. I did see Buffalo said as of right now, he's there's just nothing for him in Buffalo. So kind of see what happens. He don't have to go back to Buffalo, man. There's plenty of spots. If you're the Tennessee Titans, you got to be licking your chops, saying like, "Oh, I'd take him as a head coach here." Like, I would.
Yeah. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But yeah, that won't happen.
Yeah, we'll roll with Tomlin forever.
Good old Mike T. But Let's talk about Fast Draft. Fast Draft is who sponsors the show. So if you haven't checked out the Fast Draft app, make sure to go over, check it out, and use the promo code POWER. They will match you with the first time deposit up to $50. That's promo code POWER. And DFS wise, we still been doing good. I think I finished third. I think I was third this week. So yeah, we'll kind of see what happens there. But Sterling, we're
No,
9-8 again.
that's exactly it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's the Steeler way. But make sure to check out the Fast Draft app. And let's talk a little bit about Buffalo here, because as we were just talking about Daboll, it is not good in Buffalo as of late, Muscles. They lose to Miami 30-13. I would have liked to see the odds on Mike McDaniel getting fired over Brian Daboll, and then, kind of the payout of what that would have been.
Did you see Mike McDaniel driving around taunting Buffalo fans?
I did.
In a way, I was laughing, and then in a way, it's like, damn, dude, like you're on a hot seat, like for real, like you're on like the hottest seat ever.
Right. And he's out there, like, I'm sure he had his vape pen, just talking shit.
Yeah, he's they gotta cool it down a little bit. It was a great win though, but yeah,
It
just
was.
definitely gotta come back down to earth and try to win again next week.
But Josh Allen, watching some of that, Josh Allen is not playing good football. I mean, he played all right against Kansas City, but like Carolina wasn't good. There's just a lot of games. Josh Allen he really hasn't been himself, in my opinion. James Cook, we thought that he could have a good game here. Earlier in the season, he tore them up. I can't remember what he had, but that was never everybody's like, oh man, I wish I had more James Cook. Really disappointed this week. And they need to figure out this run defense. I mean, that's Devon Achane won us money this week. I mean, he tore it up. And, going back and looking at some Bill stats here, 30th rush yards per game. They gave up 225 total yards to Achane this week. Remember when they lost to Atlanta? Nobody could believe it. They gave up 238 yards to Bijan, total yards. Gave up 170 rush yards to Derrick Henry, who looks like a complete shell of himself. So I think it just speaks a lot about this run defense here in Buffalo. And really the pass defense has been pretty good. So
Yeah.
they need to figure out tackling. It's a lot of yards, yards after contact. This is where the Chiefs messed up. The Chiefs really messed up because if Breece Hall was available for a 3rd round pick, and I'm sure Buffalo makes it to the playoffs. I'm sure Kansas City makes it to the playoffs. Probably will play each other. And I think Breece Hall could definitely be that answer to them against Buffalo, because that's where they struggle, man. And, we seen Kansas City here in regular season struggle against Buffalo because they cannot run the ball. So for a 3rd round pick, man, I can't believe it.
I can't either. We say it all the time. I know fantasy's different than reality, but I'd pay a 3rd round pick to win a ship any day.
Oh man.
And I think Breece Hall to Kansas City would have put them kind of over. I mean, who, like you said, who's the top dog in the AFC right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can't. I don't know. Like, if I had to put money on who wins the AFC, I have not a clue right now. It's open.
It really is. I mean, you would want to say the Chiefs, but like again, I don't know, because they lose.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they had Breece Hall, I would definitely say the Chiefs. But
I would too. Yeah.
I don't. Denver sometimes looks tough, sometimes doesn't. Like it that depends what Buffalo shows up. Like, everybody's just kind of hit or miss right now.
Did you see that stat on Denver as well about like games that they've only won by like 3 points or less or something? And pretty bad teams on there. I mean, even the Raiders, I know it's division game, the Giants, like.
Yeah, they do play kind of bad teams bad, and then good teams good. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not just a Steeler thing. Like, I always thought it was a Steeler thing, but like you said, it is bad. Like, but then again,
Yeah.
they'll come out and go toe to toe with, like they did it with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe the Eagles aren't a good team. I don't know. I'm just
It's a
I,
weird year in the NFL. There is no like absolute powerhouse team in my opinion. Like I like Detroit. I know what they did this week, but like, we really have to kind of remember, what they just lost to JJ McCarthy. Like, and that was at home.
yeah, and
So
honestly, the Colts could take.
they could.
Obviously the Colts look like shit against the Steelers, but
It all depends on Jonathan Taylor. It all depends. If Jonathan Taylor gets hurt, I think they're a little bit. I don't want to say they're screwed because their defense, their defensive backs are crazy with Sauce Gardner now. I mean, they definitely have a really good defense, but gonna rely on Jonathan Taylor, man.
I wonder what the odds are on the Colts taking the AFC. That might be
I,
fairly
it,
good odds.
one I wouldn't count out as well is just always Baltimore. Like when you have
Yeah,
somebody like Lamar Jackson, I know the record isn't good, but they sneak their way in there. They're gonna be tough to beat.
honestly, that would probably be my pick. Would probably be Baltimore.
I'd like to see the Chargers. I'd like to see the Chargers too. I think they're just too banged up this year, losing, Joe Alt and lost Slater at the beginning. Amari and Hampton, he will be back, but I am a Justin Herbert fan. Herbert's been playing really, really damn good. They have a really good receiving core. Love to see Keenan Allen get a ring too, but it I think there's better days coming for the Chargers. That's for damn sure.
Oh wow, the Colts are the second favorites to take the AFC.
Who's first? Kansas City, I'm sure.
Yep. Kansas City, Indianapolis, Buffalo, Baltimore, New England, Denver, and then the Chargers. And then it's a huge drop off.
New England has a really, really good schedule to finish off the year here, which I think there's a good chance they win the AFC East.
Yeah.
They let's see.
Actually, to be honest, New England's okay to get the number 1 seed. They are the best odds to get the number 1 seed.
Yeah, like their
Yeah.
schedule's very, very, very good. I mean, yeah, they definitely should have made a move here, but I think that could have been the difference, man. So
Yeah.
then Travion Henderson. Let's just touch on the Patriots. Patriots beat the Bucks. Travion Henderson, 14 for 147, 2 touchdowns. Probably an inch from 3 touchdowns. We watched that. He kept trying to get in. That's whenever they had Diggs. Kind of threw that ball to Diggs to the outside there, but it only took 4 running backs for him to actually get a workload to go down. You got to think about it. They lost Terrell Jennings in that game. Ramondre Stevenson was out, and Antonio Gibson to IR. So maybe they kind of see what they have, but what I do want to warn everybody, I just be careful. He's a bit banged up here right now. He's coming off a short week, and he's going to play Thursday. If Ramondre Stevenson's good to go, this is an amazing, amazing matchup here against the Jets. But I think I am staying away from Travion Henderson player props. We see this a lot in these short weeks where these guys. I mean, he had a huge workload. Like he had a real, real big workload, and I think they could kind of lay off a little bit. And I'm not convinced with the coaching staff yet. Like they had to play him. And I mean, he looked absolutely amazing. Definitely deserves more. I love Travion Henderson. I just don't trust the coaching staff. I think Ramondre Stevenson's going to come out there and they're going to probably pound him again.
I agree. I wouldn't really trust them this week. Hopefully we can trust them going forward. Dynasty wise or whatever, but yeah, short week and stuff. I'm not.
Yeah, we'll monitor the injury reports as well. Like, I mean, if you have to play him as a running back too, because he is capable to bust a playoff. He absolutely is. I'm just saying mainly player prop wise, I think that's where I'm just gonna stay away from the numbers because I don't really necessarily want to take unders with him either. Just a simple fact that like I was saying, he could easily bust a 60-yard run. We seen it against the Bucks.
Yeah.
He even looked over and made sure to Vrabel that he was allowed to score. Did you see that?
Yeah. He like pointed and was like, he's gonna go
so
down.
damn good that he had time to look over and hey, can I score? Like,
yeah, that was cool to see.
It really was. So we're happy that he broke out. Just be very cautious of his workload this week again. And I just feel like this is like the fantasy tornado, man. Like the conditions are perfect, right? Huge breakout week, smash matchup against the Jets, like everything starting to twist and turn and be like, oh yeah, this is great. And then
The
bam.
trailer park shows up.
Yep. Like I just
Tornado goes through the trailer park.
I just be careful. So we'll just kind of see what happens with him. So let's get to our blown fuse segment here before we end the show. So what's on your mind? We want to know in the comments. Did you bet the money line on Buffalo and lose? Did you bet 100 plus yards on JSN like me? And he had 84 in the first quarter and didn't hit that. Maybe you went against Jonathan Taylor, Devon Achane, Jahmyr Gibbs, and you lost. Let us know what you need to get off your chest. We definitely want to know. We want to hear it. So put it in the comments. Love to hear it. Mine for this week's gonna be just I was really bad in the player props department this week. Very close on multiple throughout the week. I definitely hit some, but again, just the cash outs are horrible. We talked about this pre-show muscles. Just I so close on these props and they're offering you like $5 or $6 over what you bet. I'm just like, no, I'm not taking that. And I just it's bad. So you got to kind of be careful with these big parlays that, I'm just going to take a cash out. But I mean, are you really going to risk all that for a $5, $10 cash out? I'm not there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like we talked, like DraftKings is really like dialed back as far as cash out options. I don't know if like too many people were taking them and making outrageous parlays and just cashing out or what, but yeah, I don't know how many times I've had like 2 or 3 leggers and it's like 2 of them hit, third one's just about to hit, and it's you jump on the cash out and it's like they're offering you, like you said, $5 more than you originally bet.
Yeah.
And if you win, you double your money. It's like, I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah,
It's I think the cash outs have been ridiculous as well. And
yeah,
they probably are losing money on it because like
they probably
you know,
are.
and it all kind of depends. And unfortunately for us, we're at work, so we're not watching the games live because you can kind of feel the game flow as well. Like you're
Mhm.
watching a game, you're like, okay, this is going on. Like I know we definitely kind of can, I feel like, and and I'm sure they know that as well. So maybe
Yeah,
that's why the cash outs are. But I don't know, but that's driving me nuts. And we need to stop. Another thing, we need to stop on touchdown bets before the games. I feel like they're complete sucker bets. We kind of talked about this at work as well, Moss. Like, if it is a JT, he's probably like Jonathan Taylor, he's probably going to score. I get that. But like, even that's like starting to become almost minus 300, like to score a
yeah,
touchdown. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. And then if you do bet like you betted a Josh Downs touchdown, which unfortunately I kind of talked you into it, then talked you out of it after you already placed the bet. But you, like whenever we make things like that and they don't happen, like okay, Josh Downs doesn't score in the first quarter, them odds dramatically go up. So you're watching
yeah,
the game and you feel like okay, like we're starting to see him cut across the middle. Right away, I kind of knew we were screwed on Josh Downs because we seen Tyler Warren getting a lot of the work, which it's just kind of the way it is. But yeah, I just think they're starting to become sucker bets. If we want to bet on touchdowns, we need to do live touchdown bets. There always usually is a boost as well, and kind of maybe boost it and put what you want on that player and get better odds.
yeah, yeah. I think my bitch for the week is commissioners that micromanage teams. I don't
Mm.
I just don't like it. I'm in a league with a guy and he just like wants to tell me how to run my team. And I'm like, no, like
He's gonna tell
like,
you how to run your team.
well, like I know our boss, he's in the league and he had it's a single quarterback league, and I think he had 5 quarterbacks. He was just picking up quarterbacks, and the guy's like, I want positional limits on quarterbacks. I think this is ridiculous. And I'm like, don't start doing that shit. Like that's stupid.
Yeah,
Don't start setting positional limits. Like that's if somebody wants to load up, somebody wants to load up. And then like I said, it's single quarterback. I'm in no contention. And I had Burrow and he's on IR and I don't have a backup. So I'm just like, I'm not picking up anybody. Like, oh, what the hell's the backup for Burrow?
Flacco?
The original one.
Browning. Jake
Brown.
Browning.
Yeah, I was drawing a blank there. But anyway, he was on waivers and that guy messaged me. He goes, "Hey man, you could have picked up Browning." I'm like, dude, I'm like, I have no contention. Just want to and he's like, "Well, I should honestly just make you pick him up. I should just give him to you." I'm like, "No, like don't, you know what I mean? Like just don't micromanage. Just let me be. I'm gonna lose. Like I'm gonna roll with no quarterback. Yeah, is it ethical? Probably not, but that's what I'm. Yep, that's
Yeah.
probably backyard. Yep.
That's ridiculous because even at that, like, so Jake Browning comes out and gets you 30 points. Like, your
Yeah.
team's gonna have more points for nothing. Like, I just
Exactly. And then
let
another
somebody
guy
else.
yeah, and then another guy's arguing and wanting to trade me JJ McCarthy for like I think it was like Tyler Warren or something like that. I'm like, it's a one quarterback league. Like I don't want a quarterback. Like if I was in contention, absolutely, but just let me lose in peace and get the number one pick. Like I'm not yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
absolutely crazy. And I know that
if you're a commissioner, don't micromanage teams. Like, don't have positional limits. Don't
and change something in the middle of the league. Like, if you're a commissioner, your job is just to set everything up. Like, it is
Yeah.
not your league. All you do is you're in charge of making sure everything's ran smoothly. You don't check on this or check on that. You just make sure it's all set up and good. Your waivers are good. Make sure the draft's on time. If somebody has an issue of, say I don't know, say something went haywire, your job's to take care of it. Like,
Yeah,
that's all you
exactly.
do. It's not your league. Like, I hate people that run leagues that say, "It's my league. I'm gonna do what I want." No, dude, everybody put in money. Like, I
Yeah.
believe this is $100 league. I remember you telling me about this. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So I paid my money. I want to run the team the way I want to. If I want to, completely tank,
yeah,
I got my
absolutely.
high Burrow, I'd start him, but I don't. I'm
Absolutely.
not going into free agency and picking up anybody or, anything
'Cause
like
really,
that.
what are you gonna get out of Browning in a one quarterback? I mean, in Superflex, you could barely get a third. Like, what, a
Yeah.
fifth? A fifth? Do you even have fifth round picks? Like,
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. What the
it
hell? Yeah. No value.
yeah, absolutely no value. And then what I'll add on to that too is trade pending. Take that bullshit off. Like,
Oh, yeah, that pisses me off too.
that pisses you off. I hate trade pending. I hate vetoes. If there's a veto, I am out. Oh, I am not
Yeah.
into them kind of leagues. Like, when you're cheating. Like, when somebody's cheating. I've seen trades where people are like, "Oh, that's absolutely, you know, you ripped them off. Like, you're definitely colluding," and then it ends up working out. But
Yep. Yep.
you trade Jamar Chase, and you're getting back, you know, Keon Coleman, okay.
Yep.
But if you trade him and you get, let's say you tear down, you get Marvin Harrison and a first and RJ Harvey. Okay, like, maybe, but it's not colluding. Like, you're just trying to make a deal. So
And like, what does the trade pending like? What does because the commissioner could still overturn it. Like, even
yeah,
just turn that shit off because like we're in enough leagues where like if me and you make a trade and it's trade pending, we might forget about it and not set our lineups.
yeah,
You know, you know
you
what I
only
mean?
have Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday's football.
Yeah, yeah. So just turn that shit off. If it is absolutely egregious, the commissioner could still reverse it. Like I'm sure somebody's gonna tag the commissioner anyway and be like, "What the fuck is this?" You know,
Right. Right.
and you can reverse it anyway. Like I don't. I'm right there with you. I hate the trade pending because, like I said, I might trade a starting piece or something like that, and then plan on putting another starter in and then I forget about it because it's like trade pending, and then it goes through 3 days later, and then I don't get back to my lineup, and I'm like, "Well, shit, that"
Right. Yeah, unfortunately for us, we're in so many leagues. It's like a part-time job. Like,
It is.
I try to set them I try to take 20 minutes. So what I do is like even today, I kind of go through, check the waivers, set my lineup to guys that I know that are in. And
Yep.
there's guys that are like, we don't know about Brock Purdy, DJ Moore's question. Like there's some questionable guys. So like then Friday, I just make sure nobody's playing Thursday. Like Travion will definitely have to check. But
Yep.
then Friday, I kind of go through or Saturday, probably usually Saturday night, I'll go through and I'll try to make sure I got my final stuff. And then, if there's anybody that we're waiting till Sunday, which sometimes there is, and that's what kind of sucks with some of these teams is they don't just say who you're playing. Like you don't
Yep.
need to hide it. Like just say who you're playing. Like if you're playing Brock Purdy, play him. If you're not, that's one thing I will give the Bucks credit for. Like right away, they're like Bucky's out, Godwin's out, on to the next week. Like okay, that's great. Thank you, thank you. Like San Francisco loves to fuck around. They fuck around till Sunday morning. Say, oh, looks like Brock Purdy ain't playing again. I'm like, dude,
This is where I do like the auto sub feature. I mean,
it
it's
is.
it's one of those where it does suck if you have somebody auto subbing for this guy, and then like I don't know, so and then somebody else is out, and then you got to go to another guy on your bench because that guy's already auto sub for this guy. But honestly, like you said, with as many leagues and stuff, it is nice just to kind of like set that up. Like sometimes I'll
It is.
set it up on like a Monday or Tuesday,
Yeah.
and like like you
Well,
said, Saturday night or whatever, then they'll be out. But
it works really good if okay, so Brock Bowers, remember when he was questioned. Let's say Matthew Golden. We won't even get back. Matthew Golden. Hopefully you didn't have to start Matthew Golden, but if you did, you could have put him on the auto sub because you didn't know it was last night. So then you could at least have gotten something. We didn't know Matthew Golden wasn't playing till late. I don't think we knew till Monday, did we?
a lot of people have that auto sub. They'll have it on, but you have to play a guy that plays at the same time or later. So I
Oh,
think that
really?
defeats the purpose too. Yeah, I'm in a
Ugh,
couple leagues, like like you said, like Brock Bowers on Monday night. I couldn't sub him with anybody, so I'm like, well, what the what the hell's the
yeah.
point of auto sub? You
Right. Then
know?
you could just change it out anyways.
Yeah, yeah. So you got to change it out anyways because I don't have anybody else that can play Monday night or later. Like,
Right.
so yeah, you have auto sub on, just turn it on and you know
Right.
don't
And
do that.
then always vote on a poll too. Like if you're a commish and you want to change something like, okay, hey guys, we're a single quarterback. We want to go to super flex. Don't do it the year after. Like give it a couple years so people can do drafts and stuff and get the equity of quarterbacks and of their picks and everything as well. And then you vote on that. Say, hey, we're gonna make, if you win a majority, we're gonna make it super flex in 2 years.
Yeah, 2028 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yep.
I think that's another thing important, and you kind of learn as you go along. I've commissioned a couple leagues, and I try to just make sure to keep them moving, keep them smooth, and just no problems. But don't be afraid to commission a league and then reach out to somebody, but just don't do some of the things as we're saying. Like
Yeah.
if you're being an asshole, like you know,
Right.
if
Right.
you're being an asshole, if you're trying to say about certain spots, like don't do that. But I
Yeah.
think
Don't
I think
don't be a dictator.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think we blew our fuses here, so good to get it off my chest. I looks like you
Yeah.
feel better, Moss. I see
Yeah.
you feel
Yeah. We
better.
felt better.
So, let's talk about a player real quick before we get out of here that we're going to be really watching for here in week 11, and that's JJ McCarthy that we both kind of agreed on, who just kind of been getting some stink on Twitter. And I know McCarthy hasn't been great. I kind of fell into the trap right away because Chicago's defense I thought would be much better than what they are. Well, looked really good second half of the Chicago game. Get Chicago again, and guess what? Defense still really, really, really bad. So this could be a really nice bounce back game for JJ McCarthy, for Justin Jefferson, for Jordan Addison, for TJ Hawkinson. Kind of get this team moving once again, and maybe get a little bit of confidence under this kid. And I still think JJ McCarthy has a chance.
Yeah, we got to remember this is kind of his rookie year. I mean,
It
even
is.
though he is a second year vet, but this is kind of his rookie year. So,
And
eh,
you can watch all the film you want, but until you're in the game and everything's coming at you at high speed, that's whenever the processing matters. That's whenever guys that are JJ McCarthy is not an idiot by any means. It's just how fast can you process that? That was something with Alex Smith. Alex Smith, very, very, very smart quarterback. That's why he did coaching, and I don't know, he might still coach. Just processing wasn't as fast as like a Mahomes. Like I'm not saying my processing would be good, but
Right.
that's just the thing. There's guys that can read defenses, but there's guys that can react whenever they're in situations. And that's what's special about Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Like, it's very, very special. So I think JJ McCarthy, this could definitely be a good game for him and kind of see what happens. I know they beat Detroit. He wasn't great in that game. I know they won, but he was not great. And this Minnesota defense has really been looking better in my opinion too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna do it for tonight's episode, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, if you haven't, please follow, subscribe, like, comment, jump into Discord. I always give out some bets in Discord. We give out trade advice. We drop new shows. There's other great minds in there. I know Teixeira's always in there, sharing the latest news and stuff, just all kinds of game talk, much more. So we will put that in the description on the podcast and YouTube forum. So thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on the Fantasy Football Power Hour.
See ya.
Yo, welcome to the Power Hour.